Hello, Chichewa Wolfwoman here, coming on today to flow through a journey. This is a follow up to the video that I posted in regards to calling back our energy into our true center, in understanding that there are some of us, many of us, that are very sensitive to the energies around us. And beyond even sensitive, there's a lot of us that give our energy out without even knowing. And that energy, if I can explain, uh, is sort of, if you imagine, we'll imagine our true center as a ball of light, and our true center obviously has the ability to send that light out. And that is one expression, explanation of the ability to heal others, heal ourselves through the true center, through the energy of light that we hold. It is the center of the medicine wheel, it is the eternal flame. So it is that sacred fire that we are all connected to. And so, if we can envision that the center of our medicine wheel is like a ball of light, and that we can send this light out, and now imagine that this is happening without one's knowing, and this is what happens for some, for a lot of for a lot of people. I find, um, you know, some people are just more sensitive. They just tend to just be more compassionate. And so I find, or that, they just, if you're that person that you want to take on for someone else, like you just, it's just, I feel it's a characteristic. It's really a big part of who we are on our earth walk. And then there are those that have a nice strong wall that doesn't let anything in or out, and that's sort of the opposite side of the spectrum, and that's not supportive either. And so it's really trying to find that balance between keeping that space semi-permeable, so we could obviously emit energy out as well as we can receive it. Though very importantly is being aware of when that is happening. And the reason it's so important to be aware of when this is happening is because we could be losing vital energy sending it out without knowing. So just free flowing it out. And you might be someone that just does this, and you might find yourself that you're more tired. And I talked about this in the previous video too, so I won't go too deep, but you're fatigued, you have a lot more heart pains, or even tachycardias, headaches, anxiety, depression. I mean, there's a lot more depth to that. I sort of touched on it in the previous video. And so you will have symptoms if this continuously happens, and there's no replenishing, or not even the replenishing, there's no bringing it back in, because you have to understand that this space that we can emit this energy from has the ability to be draw it back in. I'm having a hard time speaking today, right? So yeah, so being able to draw it back in is very important, and that is why the awareness of sending that energy out is needed, so that you know that you need to draw it back in. And obviously, as I said, on the opposite spectrum of that is having that big wall up, which that used to be me. I'm not giving anything, but I obviously can't receive anything either. So yeah, maybe I'm keeping all this ball of light up here, but I'm also not open to receiving when I needed. I wasn't open to receiving when I needed it. So, my journey led me to understanding a lot of these wisdoms within inside me. And again, these are just the truths that I walk with, and I'm open and honor everyone else's perspective and walk. So absolutely share yours if you have a different perspective or more to add to it. I'm happy to hear and connect and share. And so yes, so the idea is to be able to, yes, absolutely, give our energy out when we are in a state. So we need to be in a state to be able to give out energy. So that's one. And then we need to be aware, obviously, that we're doing it too. And we need to be able to bring it back in. 3. So if we're, so the idea is for now is practicing the awareness. And I feel that once we're walking in ceremony more consistently, it's almost becomes like riding a bike. But in the beginning, it's so important to follow these steps because it allows you to check with yourself. Where are you, right? What like, are you in a space where you're realizing as I'm speaking, or even as we flow through this journey, you start realizing it because you feel different afterwards. But it's this, checking in and being like, wait a second, have I been really just giving it all out? And it doesn't mean that you can't be receiving, but yet if you're giving it out at amounts and not bringing it back in, right, you still have to bring that energy back into yourself to also essentially have all your bodies, mental, physical, and spiritual, working in balance, right? So it's like, yes, we can be out there and gifting it, but we got to draw it back in. We need to be able to receive energy as well. So yes, and checking in on are you in the state? So are you in the state to send out that energy, right? So where's your mental body at? Where is your physical body at? So those are the two you're checking in before we go anywhere, because now we're talking about essentially the spiritual body when we're talking about sending out light from our truth center, from our eternal flame. So where's your mental state at? Where's your physical state at? You know the answers to that. What are you doing for those bodies? Are you sleeping well? Do you have energy? Are you physically feeling strong? Are you struggling with depression, or are you feeling anxious? Do you have a lot of chatter? Do you feel like you're in chaos? I mean, you know the answer to, am I physically in a state? Am I mentally in a state to be opening up my eternal flame and gifting this energy, this light, to whatever it is that you're gifting it to. So whether it's another person, whether it's an animal, whatever you're actually sending this energy out to, are you in a state to do it? So that's a check-in, right? Now, you may, even before you get to this, and the whole idea of our journey today is that we're going to bring it back in. So if there's anything out there, we're bringing it back in. And maybe you're that person that has the wall up and you're like, okay, well, this wall needs to come down, right? And so through this journey, you will feel you will feel the ability to bring this wall down as we walk through this journey, as we flow through this journey together. This wall will be very, very easy to however you want to bring it down, break it down, crash it down, and allow yourself to be in a state of being able to receive and maybe try out what it feels like to give. And so, yeah, checking your state. So if you've got your energy back, you're full, you've got, all your energy in your true center, and you are in a state to be able to send that energy out, then absolutely, then it's let's send out that energy to where it needs to be, and that could be simply just the intention of sending that light with no expectation, right? That's a big thing too. It's not, we don't send, we are taught that we don't send energy or that light, that medicine from our space with an expectation. The intention is that we're sending it with no expectation, with nothing tied to it. So what does that mean? Well, that means, okay, a friend is not well, and you want to send light, you want to send energy, you want to send something, you want to be able to do more than give flowers, or so you want to be able to do, even though flowers are actually really good medicine, but we're talking about the true center light. So you want to send this energy, and so it's just sending it. And we are taught that we don't have an expectation in the energy that we're sending, because that's manipulation, and that comes from the mental body, and that mental body wants to do that. So now the mental body is wanting to drive, and so we are taught that is just sent to the center of the medicine wheel of whatever it is that we're sending the energy to. So whether it's one of our four-leggeds or flying ones or another human, whatever the case may be, we're sending it to the eternal flame. We're meeting in that center. That's how we're sending it without expectation. And we do that because when we tie anything, like I said, we're trying to control something. And even it's not even intentional. This is just the mental body and how it operates from conformity. And this is the whole reason we're flowing through these videos is and working together is how do we move from here to here. And so we don't want to tie any expectation to it. Why? Because we don't understand their journey. And they may not understand their journey, why they're flowing through whatever experience they're flowing through, or why that animal is, or whatever the case may be. So when we tie an expectation to how we're sending that energy, we are meddling in something that is not for us to meddle in. We can send energy. Absolutely. That's compassion. That's love. That's where we all connect in the center of the medicine wheel, that eternal flame, and that true center where we are. Absolutely, we can send the light, and it will be used in however it needs to be used, and we don't need to know or understand why. We just send. So that is sending without expectation. So now we've sent it, right? And I believe, at least from what I've seen, throughout the years, I've witnessed the alternative healing world, or whatever we want to call it, is, it's a big saying, hold sacred space. Can you send light? Can you send energy? Can you, and a lot of them, they're very big asks without, I feel, a lot of people understanding what that really entails and the responsibility that takes to do it. It's not it. I mean, it is as simple to do it, but yet the responsibility behind it is much bigger than we understand. I just said the first one, which was, are you even in a state to do it? But most people just think, well, I could just send the light. I could just, right? Think of somebody that's asked you to do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but you've just done it. So now you've drawn another strand, and who knows how many other strands are already coming out of you if you're already not in the greatest mental or physical state. And so there's that responsibility behind asking that and understanding that, but it's become a very, I don't know, like the word that wants to come is like a fluff saying to do, send light, send this, but there's so much more to it. So now we've sent it out because we've checked that our mental and our physical body is in a state to do so. And we've sent it out, and we have done it without expectation. We've sent it out. Okay, great. So now it's out. So now we need to bring it back in, right? And so when do we do that, right? How do we know when it's time to call it back in? And I feel that that's very personal. I feel that if we are in a space of knowing that we are doing it, then it's important to know as well within our true center when it's time to bring it back. Again, this leads me back to this idea of that it's things are being asked in this alternative healing world, these sayings that are out there, and exchanges of energy and send this and send that and whatever, but they hold so much more responsibility, and that I feel that is definitely what I want to emphasize on. And I feel that I'm doing that because that is what I feel very, I'm hearing very clear as I'm sharing this, that's what's coming through is the responsibility. And so knowing that when you're going to undertake this gift of gifting your vital energy, it's important to know the responsibility that comes with it, to be clear in what you're doing. So yes, to check your mental state and your physical state, to send it out if you understand what it is that you're sending out. What are you doing? Being clear in understanding where you are when you're doing it, and there's the intention behind it without expectation, and knowing when it's time to call it back in. And then, yes, going through the practice of calling it back in. And so this journey can be something that you can use as you flow through the journey today, or you can practice it, do it, and then keep it in your practice. And maybe it works for you. Maybe it's something that connects with you, and you're going to use this when you practice gifting energy. Or maybe it works and you find a different way that works for you, and that's great. but we can definitely flow through it today, and you can definitely use it in your toolbox, so to speak, and have it there when you do need it, so that you do know how to call back your energy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move into that journey now. And so I'm going to ask you to take a moment and close your eyes, and I'm going to flow through this with all of you. I always like to remove my glasses when I'm journeying, and we're going to start by just taking a nice deep breath in and a big sigh out. And so I'd like you to take that breath work a few times. So in your own sort of rhythm, just a nice deep breath in, and then release out. And so we'll just take a moment here and just do it in your own space and pace. And as you're taking these deep breaths in and sighing out, it really is allowing you to relax, connect with your physical body. Relaxing is really important, allowing those shoulders to relax and rest, sinking into the space you're in, whether you're sitting or lying down. Excellent. Now just bring your breath work back to a regular state of breathing. And now we're going to draw our breath in. And as we draw it in, we're going to draw it in to our true center. So where our heart area is. So draw that energy in through your nose into your true center, and then breathe it out from your true center. Okay, so we're going to practice that. So take that breath in through your nose, draw it into your true center, and then breathe it out of the true center. So just really allowing it. Feel that breath work coming in, filling that space, that true center, and then breathing out. I want you to continue with this breath work. And so what this is doing, we're taking in Nia, which is new life, breath, bringing it in and drawing it into a space. And then we're breathing out and releasing that which is no longer needed. So we're just going to do this a few more breaths. So bringing it in to our true center, and then out from our true center. Excellent. And now you can bring yourself back to your regular state of breathing. Your true center is nice and open. It should feel open at this point, and just maybe if you're a visual person, you're seeing a light, or you're feeling the openness if you feel more. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the breath through our mouth, okay? And as we take the breath through our mouth, we're going to draw it into our true center. And as we draw our breath in from our mouth into our true center, we're then going to release through our nose, okay? So here we go. Let's practice that breath work. So breathing in through your mouth, and out through your nose. So practice that. So almost sucking that breath in, and that breath, you're following it into your true center. And when you have it there, a gentle breathing out from your nose. So let's do that a few times. Now notice as you're sucking this in, you might even start to feel energy returning to your true center. And so continue to draw this breath in through your mouth. And out through your nose. So as you're drawing it in through your mouth into your true center, and then gently breathing out your nose. And here you are bringing back, calling back those strands of energy. And so you can continue with this breath work until you feel or see, however it is you perceive energy, all that energy returning to your true center. You will feel it, you will see it, and when you do, you return back to your regular state of breathing and slowly open your eyes. And so that is the simple, simple journey. And maybe you're still there and now I'm talking, and that's okay, stay there. Just know that it's as simple as that. This is something that you can take into your practice. It's something that you might feel that you need to do again and again and again until you truly feel like, maybe you just feel like you can't stop today, but you need to. There's something you have to do, but that's okay. You've done a lot of work already. You've called back a lot of that energy already into your true center, and do it as many times as you need to draw that energy back in. And once you have all that energy back, and you will feel different, you will absolutely feel different, then you're ready to go to that number one. Am I in a state? And if you're in a state, great. Then if your energy is needed, do it with responsibility and intention and no expectation. And now you understand how to bring it back in, and only you know when it's time, when it's that moment to bring it back in. And that is the medicine, one of the many medicines, but the medicines that we all walk with. We're all healers, we're all givers. And it's a beautiful gift that we can give, that we can share, that we all connect from this true center, from the eternal flame. That this is what connects us all, as Grandmother Spider taught. So thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, as this is another way to connect through that web with others right now. And comment. Did you enjoy the journey? Are you using it? Have you used it? What else? Well, maybe there's something else that you do to call back the energy, or do you have just questions? Share your questions as well, and I'm happy to do a video based on those questions as well, if I can. If I do even hold the knowings or the answers to any of the questions that come. So thank you again. I do appreciate your time with me here. Sending love.